Well, let's go ahead and kick off our property committee meeting for Thursday, September 7th, 2023. It is 5 p.m. Thank you all for being here this evening. In service to the county, we do have a quorum this evening with 4 members present. And let's go ahead and go on to the consent agenda. So item number 2 on the agenda, with the consent, we've got the approval of the minutes and the recommended approval of bills and transfers, which you'll note are $455,618.99, all approved in advance by our auditor. Might I have a motion on the floor to approve the consent agenda? We have a motion by member Byrne and a second from Vice Chair Soldner. All those in favor of passing the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion passes. Moving on to number 3 on our agenda this evening, Administrator Taylor, do we have any appearance, any members of the public or county employees?
We have had no requests
Okay.
for this meeting.
All right, thank you very much. Which moves us along to agenda item number 4, departmental matters. This is where we get to speak with Mr. Steffa. So Mr. Steffa, if you'd like to,
Here or down there?
where would you prefer? Where are you most comfortable?
Yeah.
Feel free to have a seat at the table, sir.
Try that.
So we have Mr. Steffa, our Director of Parks and Recreation with us here today, and on the agenda, we do have one agenda item for action. However, in consultation with the Director of Parks of the Parks Department, we have a request to actually pull this item from the agenda tonight for discussion at a later date. Mr. Steffa, is that correct?
That is correct.
Alrighty, so.
Madam Chairman, I'd move we pull the item from the agenda.
All right, I think, do we need to have?
Oh, we don't need a motion.
I don't think we need a motion or a second, is that accurate?
This is not actually addressed in our rules. It might
Okay.
be something to pick up in rules
Okay.
committee at some point, but we have
Fantastic.
traditionally just allowed people, department heads, people who put an agenda item on to withdraw it themselves.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sierra. So I think we're okay then to thank you very much, though, Mr. Tompkins Member Tompkins for hopping in to make sure that we were on the right train there. Let's go ahead on to Mr. Steffa. Anything that you'd like to present for information this evening?
Yeah, the only thing I have is a monthly informational report. I'd be happy to answer any questions if anybody has any. It's not real detailed. We're kind of, I'll be honest with you, we're a little low on staffing, so I and Mr. Wood, our operations supervisor, we're kind of filling in where our summer staff normally does, so we're not getting a whole lot of other things done, but we're getting some. Don't get me
Sure.
wrong.
Sure.
But I'd be happy to answer any questions. If you want me to touch on any points, I'd be more than happy to.
I'm just curious about earlier on, I believe it was a couple meetings ago, we talked about or approved the dogs to be able to have the Frisbee competition, or the Frisbee club that was happening in the beach area. Was just curious how that process was going, how the partnership was going, and if there's been anything that has come up as a result of that one.
They actually canceled July because it was too hot. August, they didn't have very many people, so we're hoping cooler months will bring out a few more participants.
Okay.
But it's been going great. It's a great relationship so far.
Fantastic. Additional comments or questions from the committee? So great to
Make it
see.
easy on me?
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. It's great to see that the process is continuing for the boat rental and the bait shop, and getting that area and the property squared off. How's the building and everything like that working out
Building
thus far?
is doing great. Everything's moved in, so we're just working on abandonment of, we've got the water and the electricity to the old building abandoned. Now we're just waiting for Hohulin fence to square off the fence, because we're gonna keep part of that pen to keep kayaks, people who wanna store their kayaks there over the summer, we're gonna keep that for them. And we're gonna store our kayaks there as well in the summertime. Basically, we're gonna take it's a rectangular shaped fence, we're gonna have it and make it a squared off fence, and that way, and then when that's done, Litweilers will come in and take the building down. So William Masters is done with the plumbing and the electricity. O'Hewlands has been contacted, so hopefully they're gonna get to it pretty soon. It's been just about a month, and they said it would be about a month. So hopefully soon, as soon as they're done, we'll before they're done, we'll contact Litweilers and make them aware that they're almost up to bat.
Alright. Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
One other thing, I did,
please.
this came in late, so, I got this kinda late, this flyer, but, on Saturday, September 16th, the Master Naturalist Group, is having a Nature Trails Day out at the park, and I can pass this around, or if you want a copy, I can be more than happy to get you a copy, but, it's a Saturday, September 16th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and there'll be a lot of great stuff out there.
Looking forward to the tree ID hike.
They're gonna have some live animals out there too, so. I think
It's
it'll be-
better than stuffed ones, I guess.
Yeah, great. Awesome. Well, certainly looks like a great activity. Thank you so much for bringing it to our attention this evening. Additional, no? All right, thank you very much, Mr. Steff, I
All right.
appreciate your time
You're
this
very
evening.
welcome.
That brings us on to item number 4B, where we welcome Director of Facilities Management, Mr. Gaither. Mr. Gaither, greetings, hello. And it looks like Mr. Gaither has one item to be presented for action this evening. That item to be presented for action is a request approval of an agreement with Otis Elevator for elevator modernization in the Government Center building. Might I have a motion to go ahead and put this on the floor for discussion? We have a motion by Member Byrne. Might I have a second? We have a second by Member Tompkins. Over to you, Mr. Gaither.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. This is the center elevator in this building. We started having some reliability issues with the elevator. They're becoming more prevalent. And so it's very similar to the one we visited, the contract we had a couple months ago for the north elevator. Does anybody have any questions on it?
Seeing no,
So, quick question, is there a difference, can you explain the difference between modernization and just outright replacement?
Well, you keep, in the modernization, you keep some of the key components, like the car is actually kept, it's just, it's given a facelift.
Sure.
The car
Like
itself.
New panel and.
Yeah, new
whatnot.
panel, like it'll have the audio notifications that are not currently in those cars. As far as, so it'll notify you what floor you're on, those type of things.
Gotcha, okay, thank you.
additional comments or questions? All right, we'll go ahead and take this one to the vote. All those in favor of passing item number B1A, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you very much, Mr. Gaither. Moving on to your, any items that you'd like to present for information this evening.
On the report, I tried to add some additional, sometimes it's easier to see in pictures than it is in explanations. So as everybody's aware, today we had flooded our current animal control building, and so we've been working to do some repairs on that. So I included some pictures with what we're currently going with to replace it. It'll be very similar to what it was before. It's a little bit more cost effective what we're using now. We're using a lot of recycled materials in the renovations we're doing now. We identified another area where we were having some flooding on the kind of on the southeast side of the building back towards the garage, and this last set of pictures under animal control shows the drainage we put into the pavement area to get that water removed and behind the berm that is out there to try to facilitate water from entering through the garage area. That's Obviously, we're moving forward with the boiler projects we've discussed. Those are exciting. It'll be a lot of changes within our buildings that will help with our consistency and our heat, so. The one thing that's not on here that we've identified as a safety issue that I wanted to make sure and share this evening is, the northeast corner of the health department, where there's a set of steps that are, they're not poured steps, they were set in there. It's a safety issue. They've started to sink, so there's a large step off. They're not very level, so we're working to have that poured. So there'll be new concrete steps there, and then that entrance going to the northeast corner will be new concrete, so that it doesn't. Currently, the way the concrete is it slopes into the building. So when we get lots of rain and it comes off that hillside, it goes into that northeast corner. So the slope will be changed on that as well.
So Mr. Gaither, with that one, is that something that your team is able to take care of? Do we need to contract out for that? Is it short-term, long-term solution?
It's a long-term solution. It will be contracted out just because of the nature of the amount of concrete that needs poured.
Thank you for making us aware of that one.
So, so I was out there, Tuesday at the animal control, and currently they don't have walk-in, you have to call ahead and make an appointment, or if you get there, you call and they'll, whatever. Is that gonna continue for a while, or when do you think they're gonna be able to have walk-ins again?
I think, I'm not really in charge of the animal control side of it, but I think that's because we are under construction.
Right,
I anticipate being done by the end of this month,
okay,
so it should be opened back up.
Okay.
We've been a little slowed down on our materials arriving. We were supposed to have more materials the 5th, and it looks like we're gonna have them the 1st of next week, so we're kind of at a standstill. Unfortunately, we've tried to do this so that we get them 2 weeks ahead of the time we run out, but with the holiday, it didn't happen,
Right.
so.
no, I was just curious,
Yeah.
no problem.
I can confirm that what Joe states is correct, that they will be back to normal operation and functioning after the construction is done.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much for that question and context, Vice Chair Sullivan. That's great to know. Additional questions regarding what Mr. Gaither has shared or property in general?
Quick question about the construction going on in 400. I know there's a delay in some of the materials arriving. Do we anticipate that's going to continue on into October, or do we see an end date for that coming up at all?
My understanding is the month that it was pushed back is where we're at on that still.
Yeah, so that project is being handled by Jay Spencer through the city of Bloomington. And I have not received any updated timelines. I do peek in that room occasionally. And I do see that they are at a stop until they receive the millwork that they're waiting for. So, but no new dates.
All right.
So we'll be at the museum for next Thursday?
Correct.
I'm asking just
Yes,
general
please.
information. I've received several chided complaints, if you will, from other municipal elected officials about the state of the carpet in this building, and I was wondering if there may be some insight on that.
Absolutely.
We are actually trying to get a company in here now. Unfortunately, what we've identified this year, as we've new personnel within our department is the majority of the commercial carpet companies are inundated with business during the summer months with the colleges and the public schools, just because those buildings are empty during that time. So what we've identified is we're going to try to work with our carpet situations for first and fourth quarters. So we're actively working to try to get that set up. Obviously, this first floor of this building specifically will be our number one priority because it is in very, very bad shape.
It was budgeted for this year, but there were some delays.
All right, great questions, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Gaither. Anything else that we can do or expect to support you along the way?
It's been great. I can't say enough good things. I appreciate everybody's support.
Excellent. Thank you for your time this evening.
Thank you.
And then moving right on along with our agenda, item number 4C, we get to speak with Administrator Taylor. So Administrator Taylor has an item to bring to the table for action tonight. C1A, the request approval of third amendment to amended and restated lease between the City of McLean and the building, and the Public Building Commission, excuse me. Might I have a motion to put this one on the floor?
So moved.
Okay, we got a motion from Member Tompkins, and it looks like we have a second from Member Byrne. Administrator Taylor, over to you for amended amendments of amendments.
Third amendment.
Third amendment.
So if I draw your attention to page 36 of your packet, there is a letter there from a representative, Robert Porter from the PBC. In order for the PBC to begin construction on the animal control project, we have to update our agreement. And so that is the purpose of this. The only changes that are made to this agreement are to add that building to the lease. And it is my understanding that PBC has approved this portion, and so it will need to go through our county board and then also the other partners involved with PBC.
Thank you very much, Administrator Taylor. Comments or questions on this item?
From a 5,000-foot level, deferring to your experience, is this a good deal?
Having a PBC or
No,
the?
the whole package, the lease, the cost, all of it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just wanted to hear.
I think it's with this one, if I could weigh in, it just seems like a great opportunity, especially the intergovernmental partnership that we have now with Benward, right? With Benward working to give us some land for the animal control facility. Additional comments or questions? All right. All those in favor of passing item C1A, please signify by saying aye.
Alright,
Any opposed? The motion passes and we have our third amendment to the amended and restated lease. And then Administrator Taylor, over to you for any items for information, including the cafeteria area.
Yeah, so the first item that I'd like to present for information is that we've had a request for the use of this building. It came to our attention through a employee of the City of Bloomington that works for their Economic Development Council. We have a local creative and a writer who have teamed up to create a short film that is based on the grandmother's life of one of the writers. And they would like, the film is set in the 1960s, and because of our cafeteria in the basement and the design elements that are still in the basement, it is a perfect location for them to do some shooting. The City of Bloomington employee has volunteered to be present during any activity that they would have during those filming. But they thought it would be a great opportunity to push more people to be thinking about downtown Bloomington for filming destinations when they're looking at Illinois for some of those things. So I bring it to your attention. It's not an action item, but I wanted to let you know that that is something that is going to be in development. They are still raising funds for the film, so they do not have a date for production or a schedule set, but once something is more in line, I can bring it back to you all.
do we expect a Spielberg or a James Cameron or anybody like that?
I hope so. I hope this local business grows to that level.
I'm looking forward to the premiere and the red carpet.
Yeah, there we go.
So the specifics for the actual filming event will come at a later time.
Yes, so she's, it looks like they're still working to build up their budget, and the writing is complete, but they haven't set a timeline for filming.
Do we anticipate charging for the use of the space?
We were not anticipating.
Are there any perhaps legal or liability concerns that are held with it, or is that kind of negated since there's a City of Bloomington employee that is willing to kind of supervise? And is there gonna be any allowance to, if they need to alter or adjust the space to ensure that it's not damaged or anything like that? Or are we not to that part yet?
I don't think we're to that
Okay,
part yet.
sure.
There has been no discussion about changing any elements for the space. It was just to be able to film in the basement. And technically, it's a public space, so I think they probably could have not handled it in this route, but I'm glad that they did.
If I may add some context to Chair Lehman's remarks, there having been present at a state capitol where a movie was filmed, many unanticipated potential damages can occur, so just be cognizant of what Ms. Lehman said.
Very good. I will confer with legal counsel on that, and if we have to make more arrangements in the future prior to filming, we can do so.
Don't wanna damage our floral terrace.
Right. Look at the fabulous railings. The beautiful light fixtures, right? Very cool space. Exciting news that that somebody in the public is interested in really kind of memorializing that space with a film. So, thank you very much for bringing that to our attention this evening. Additional items?
The next item that I'd like to bring up is something that we've brought up in the future. I just wanted to share a little bit of our timeline on our spatial study for this building. We had mentioned it in the past, and then I haven't updated you in a couple of sessions. So we have a meeting with Paul Charnett and Associates next Wednesday to look at the draft of the report that he has prepared. Once Tony and I are finished meeting with him, that report will go to the city of Bloomington, and then we will be ready to share that with all of you. We have built into the budget for 2024 some expenses for upgrades, but the decisions on what those upgrades will be a collaboration with the city of Bloomington, and we haven't decided on those yet. So, but we have set aside some funds in the budget for those capital expenses. So that's my update, and I'll know more soon, but I don't have any specific dates as of yet. It just hasn't been forgotten. I want to make sure you guys know it hasn't been forgotten. And then my third item for information that I would like to share is an acknowledgement to the McLean County History Museum for the 2023 Best of Bloomington Normal Award, the Bob Awards, if all of you are familiar with those. They received an award for their Abe statue for the best place to take a selfie in the county of McLean. And so we recognize them and Abe at the museum. That's what I have to share.
Thank you so much for sharing. What a fun award. Congratulations to the folks at the History Museum and the team that continually maintains those grounds. Gotta love when you walk around and you see Abe wearing a scarf one day or perhaps mittens the next. Perhaps the committee can go take a selfie there on our way
Next door.
to exactly, or on our way to the meeting on next
too.
Thursday.
I'm trying to remember at the airport, there's a statue,
Stevenson.
Stevenson?
Yeah, got the hole in his shoe and everything.
Sitting on the bench, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Perhaps that's a second place in the Best of Bloomington Award.
Probably not as well known.
Nothing else
Additional,
for me.
all right, thank you very much, Administrator Taylor. And that brings us then to item number 5 on the agenda, other business and communications. Our next meeting is October 5th, 2023, 5 p.m. Location to be determined. Is that accurate? Hopefully in the boardroom, but
Hopefully in the
potentially-
boardroom, but possibly in this room. I think the last date that we were given was they would be completed by October 6th. But that there could be some fluctuation a day or two here or there, so we're hoping they finish a little early.
stay tuned to the calendar that Ms. Morlock puts out or your agenda packet. Any additional business or communications from the committee? All right, seeing none, thank you all for your service to the county. Have a fabulous rest of your Thursday and look forward to seeing everybody next Thursday. Thank you all.